we're back. What's up, everybody? Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. I prefer just Keith, but it's all good. Glad you're here. Boy, November 6th, 2025. And more red. And more red. And more red. Let's talk about it, shall we? Welcome to Crypto Before Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. It's free. It costs absolutely nothing. While you're there, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. If you're watching over on X, if you're watching over on Rumble, we appreciate you. Go hit the like button and repost this so everyone else sees it. The more we get of those, the better. Last but not least, if you're over on the YouTubes, won't hurt anything to give us a sub. Google tells me that about 60% of you guys don't hit like, subscribe, and let everyone know. So if you would please do so, that would be awesome. Anthony, if you don't like it, bro, you can go. I don't understand what your deal is. You just show up to talk crap. It's fine. I'm going to quit acknowledging you, though. It's all good. It's whatever. It's a crypto-based channel, brother. You don't have to like it. I'm sorry. Yes, I buy stocks, bonds, equities, and options and everything else. Yes, it's just not what I talk about all the time because 90% of people don't care. Crazy, right? That not everything revolves around what you want. That's madness, I know, but is what it is. You know what I mean? Is what it is. Welcome, everybody. So, what's up, Eric? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Andrew Anascu? How you been, my guy? What's up, 808 Buddha? Appreciate it. What's up, Magoo? I appreciate you. Shout out to Crypto Big D. I appreciate you over on Rumble. Ultralink 1001. What's up, my guy? Good to see you. Tip Top Well, what's up? Good to see you. Sean Christensen, how you doing, brother? All right, so let's dig off into it, shall we? So we'll start with this. I'm sitting mostly in stable coins. Decided that if I'm going to buy anything over here, it's not going to be an altcoin and definitely not going to be a ton of crypto. I did make a Bitcoin buy, but it was during that big liquidation event that went on, and I'm still pretty good on that one. I'm still in the green, still in the positive on it. So, like I said, things have still rolled over really aggressively, and with that aggressive of a rollover as we've had, I'm not interested in throwing money back in the market. Now, are there some exceptions to the rule here? Yes, there are. We've seen quite a few different assets peek their heads up and try to get going again. It's very, very interesting. I'm not sure what assets will do well and what won't because it's silly to try to sit here and guess. But what I will do is talk about the state of everything and kind of show you what's going on. And if you have never come to the channel before and you're new or you're just watching after being around or gone for a long time, we do a simplistic form of technical analysis here, all right? We always keep it straight charts, straight analytics. We try not to guess. We try not to patch any hopium into there. We try to stick to what we can see and what we know, not what we think and what we wish. All right. There's a big problem with a lot of investors or wannabe investors. They want to go on everything that they can't see. They want to tell you that, oh, well, it's because of this. It's that. All that's subjective, meaning you think or you feel. Not objective, meaning not fact-based. It's think-based. Well, this is facts. We're going to stick to the data that we can see on the chart, ups and downs, left and rights, and we'll go with that data, and that'll usually drive us in the right direction. And it's done really, really well for us for a really, really long time. Are occasionally we wrong? Yeah, occasionally I'm wrong. History is on my side, though, luckily. Been doing this since 2019. And we're working on 7 years now of this. So, yeah, I'd say we've done pretty well over time. And another thing you're going to notice is when you come on here, I'm not like every other channel that comes on here and just talks about crypto and what you should hurry up and go buy. And, oh, what a bullish sentiment this one has and what that one has. I'm not going to do that, man. I never have and I never will. I'm gonna stick to what. Hold on a second. I got to deal with something over here. There we go. I'm going to stick to what I can see and do. I'm going to stick to the facts. I don't want to play games of which one I think is better than the other, because in my opinion, 99% of all these are completely useless. And it's not your one asset that's the special one. People really don't like to hear that, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You can't. What's up, Rope-a-Dope? Good to see you. You can't really sit back and think that your asset is the special one and your asset's going to be the one that makes all the money. That's just not the facts. It's just not. And I know that's hard to hear, but keep it real or keep it to yourself, as we say. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things. Ultralink says, what else does Google tell about you? Absolutely nothing. I can just see your profile, but it doesn't tell me your profile information. It just tells me that 60+% of people don't like, subscribe, or hit the notification bell, that they just watch and leave. And that's fine. You don't have to do it. It's just one of them things that Google tells me. Google metrics and analytics do that. All right, so let's get into it here. So Bitcoin price action continues to roll over and show weakness. Yesterday was a recovery day, and I kind of put it online and warned everyone that that green candle that you see right there was nothing more than a recovery candle after that big drop down, which pushed us into oversold territory on a lot of assets. At the time, yesterday, when I managed to get a buy-in, Bitcoin peaked down into oversold territory on the daily charts. Pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Pretty interesting. I didn't expect to see that at all, but it did. Fair enough here. At the back side of our last live stream, I did a 10-minute segment just on stocks, bonds, and equities and how good they look compared to crypto. And what you saw was a large improvement, specifically from the Magnificent Seven and some indices. Occasionally, a few other words are going up and down. It is of note, and we'll get into the Fear Greed Index and a little bit of everything over here in a couple minutes, but it is of note that the Fear Greed Index is an extreme fear in the stock market. Crazy, right? And I'll show you what I mean why that's a little weird right here in a moment. Plus, we'll go through the crypto one as well. Wanted to talk about the price action first. We had some longs come in. I dropped down to the 4 hours. You can see them. We had some longs come in yesterday at the pedestal of the bottom of this. When we hit my target box that I had drawn down here, you guys saw that target box. We actually watched the target box get hit live on stream. It was really cool. Once this thing got hit live on stream, we saw a bounce. Excellent. That happened directly after the stream. I got my buy-in shortly after the stream as well. So I'm in down there. Thing is, those longs all really piled in at the reversal zone. We can see that on liquidity zones using CoinGlass, using different order books, etc. Aggregators. You can see where all the longs and shorts tend to pile in and pile out. All right, so a lot of them piled in right at about 100,500. Obviously, you had some down at 99 and 100. Those were a little bit lower leverage, and everything kind of pushed up from that level there. Problem, we came down and went clean through that just earlier today, right around lunchtime at about 12 o'clock. This thing pushed down and shot a candle directly through the liquidity zone and nuked that one as well. So while we're here, you've seen me post these online, and I'll go ahead and show you how I do that. Longs wasted. That, and then I turn it blue. And then I go over here on TradingView, which is pretty neat. You got all these different tools over here. If you click on the text one and go down here to the bottom where it says content, you can post an image. And I shall do that. I have a wasted PNG right here that I made on Photoshop. Bam, there you go. And now that liquidity zone that was right there, well, guess what, folks? You know it. Wasted. Sucks, huh? I know. Is what it is, though. You got to deal with it. The problem is every single time we see a little bit of longs come in, the bears come along and absolutely dick punch the hell out of them. Just keeps happening over and over again. For instance, up here where you saw these shorts get attacked yesterday, and some were liquidated, but not all of them. And instead of reversing and keeping on going, all this thing did was make yet another lower high and come on down some more and let those bears count some more profits, which was the thumbnail that you saw for this live stream, right? You saw the thumbnail for the live stream. Hey, bears take profits again, right? Cool. I just wanted you to see the price action and see that these things continue to attack the longs over and over and over again. And those of you who are super anxious to hurry up and go buy everything and load up on altcoins and all this other stuff, knock yourself out. It's not my thing. I'm super trying to take it careful through here. And I'm going to continue to try to tiptoe through this and be careful and not make a grave mistake. You know what I mean? I don't want to risk all my money on a hope. That's a terrible idea. Talk about that all the time with you guys, telling you, hey man, you can't go throwing all your eggs in one basket. You got to be very careful how you tiptoe around through this stuff. It can get very messy very quick. It really can. And I don't want to see you guys take the downfall on this. I don't want to see anybody buy falling knives. Obviously, this thing's still a falling knife. If you take a buy on this, you're taking the risk on yourself. You knock yourself out. You know what I mean? 3% for Bitcoin today, but look at all the other alts spilling blood everywhere in the market. There are a few exceptions, and I'll pull them up now. Zcash. This one's been running hot for days. Look at that. Up and up and up and up and up and up. Why? Who cares why? The point is, look at it go. All right? Nothing but buy pressure on the back end. We talk about overbought and oversold all the time. Look at that thing be overbought, and it's still going. When's it going to stop? Great question. Maybe we could pull some fibs on it, try to figure that out. So all the way back here is the 2017 high. Yeah, 2017. All the way back here is our November 2021 high. Yeah, 2021. We're over the previous bear market high now and approaching previous all-time high for Zcash. Zcash was an underperformer last bull run, and here it is making up all the slack all at once. Really interesting to watch. She is off above the previous bear market all-time high, and that's where I started these fibs from, November 2021. We are approaching $700 at the 1272 in log mode. Let me flip it to linear, and it's 600 to 681. So there's some good markers for you as far as I wonder where it's going to go. All right, wonder not, because it looks like $600 is coming up. Incredible run, and that's on a weekly chart. That's a weekly chart. 92 RSI on the weekly is insane. All right, and I'll flip it to the monthly. Doesn't really make a difference. Still really, really impressive breakout price action. Look at the RSI, 90, extremely overbought. Am I the kind of guy who's going to barrel my money into this? No, I'm not. I'll just sit back and watch from the sidelines. It is so risky to buy altcoins right now. You're taking a massive gamble. ZC just happens to be one of the ones that continue to run like a champ. And look at it go, right? So I think we might hit 550 to 600 here in the short term near future. And if not, if it wants to fail, back to 300 to the previous bear market start and the previous all-time high bull run. I'll say all-time high bull run. The 2022 bull run high of roughly $300. I think that's the next possibilities. 550 to 600, and if it fails, back to 300. Impressive price action. It really is. It's something to watch it run like this in the midst of all these others failing miserably. How about another one? All right. So I talked about ICP on the last live stream. Here are some of my old buy lines right down here where I started buying this back in 2023, bought the absolute bottom. I wasn't taking a big risk on this again. I already made money and then lost some money on this. So I decided, hey, I'm walking away from ICP and not doing this anymore. Since last live stream, ICP is up another 25%. Very impressive. Look at that price action on the weekly. That's a clean breakout. No back test. And into the weekly moving averages. Very, very nice. But I'm going to warn you, she is starting to run into resistance right through here in the previous 2024 chop. This is where a lot of us got hung up. After that big run up to begin the year, she fell off very, very rapidly and has henceforth done absolutely nothing except head fake you and head fake you and head fake you over and over and over again. Whoops, over and over and over again into a point of oblivion where you thought, hey man, this thing's making new lows. She's cooked. Good news is she popped up and took off. Blame whatever reason you want to blame for it to go up. I don't do that. I'm just charting it. And our 1, 2, and 3 are all broken pivot-wise. Ichimoku Cloud, you're 4 out of 4. RSI, like a ZEC, she's super overbought. 80 RSI on the daily. Weekly, not so overbought. Cruising pretty well, as a matter of fact. So, ICP, since last stream, continues to print and do pretty darn well. It's really impressive. It really is. It's something to see it happen. I didn't think that ICP would ever do anything else. And sure enough, surprised the heck out of me and keeps running. Just reporting what it's doing. I don't own any. Quite the run, quite the scene. Dash. I was asked after the stream to chart this one. And yeah, we watch it in the Discord. We've been seeing this one run pretty well already. And it continues to do so again. Look at that move up. Since the September midline here, bang, big takeoff and run. Since September of right near our lows, up 430% on the weekly. And since it crossed the 821 EMA, there, it's up about 410%. And if you bought the epic bottom absolute butthole price, you're up 430. If you bought a safer buy, 407. But again, if you saw Dash doing this because you just knew it was going to happen, well, you're a mind reader. It's quite impressive to see it go. It turns out that a lot of stuff on the Lightning Network did really, really well. No one knows exactly why, not the point. But it was ZEC, Dash, Bitcoin, and a couple others. Litecoin, you'd think, hey, it's going to follow in the footsteps of these. Let's go look. Here's Litecoin. Not so well. Not so well. She hasn't taken off and ran like those other ones have, but keep your eyes open because Dash and ZEC looked bad like this before they took off, right? So it's worth noting that you might see Litecoin do something as well, seeing as how it's on the same network as the other ones. And we sometimes see groupings of coins do really well, right? Just keep a track on it, letting you know. How about one we haven't done in a while that keeps on fading farther and farther off into oblivion? Good old constellation DAG.
Damn. God damn.
I know. Boy, what a shit show. I've warned about this one and warned about this one. Hey, man, you come up and hit your take profit zones. Great. Hold the line. I talked about a nickel, 5 cents. Now, that was important. And then we got through that. I said, hey, man, watch out. 10 cents is going to be a tough barrier as well. Boy, did 10 cents ever turn out to be a horribly tough barrier. Big double top right here. And ever since then, all you've made is staggering lows after lows after lows until now where you're in a weekly lower low. Brutal, right? I know. So I'm going to sneeze. At some point here, I didn't sneeze. So at some point here, we're going to hit our take profit fibs. And we've got take profit fibs from this previous low to the high, right? That's where I drew this. Down here in these green boxes that I drew is 2020 upper support and 2020 lower support. And here's why I drew those, right? You can see them here. Here's our top support that we already failed. Now it's resistance. We can relabel it. Do that. Resistance. Bam. Now we have to get back over that. That's going to be a hard hill to jump, isn't it? But here's our old support back to 2020 where we had a lot of price action chop. And here's our lower 2020 support where it also chopped, and that's the bottom of the range. So like top of the range, bottom of the range, support and support. So far, price is still over both of them. That's a good thing. Warning, she's shown no signs of wanting to fight back yet. Here's the weekly RSI. You're working on oversold, not quite there yet. You can see that there. Oversold would be down here in the lower area of the RSI. Isn't quite there. How about the daily? I do most of my buying and selling on the daily, and we usually chart on the daily because it's ample enough for everyone to look once or twice a day for 5 minutes. So I tell everyone, if you're looking to start learning how to chart, or you want to understand this stuff a little bit better and not just buy like a sucker all the time, you use the daily chart. You can look in the morning and look in the afternoon for 5 minutes. That's all you really need, right? Obviously, big gnarly downtrend continues to sell off and sell off and sell off. RSI. Remember a second ago I said the weekly wasn't oversold, but look at that daily. She's buried. This is the first, second, third time oversold without a reaction. The last time that DAG was this oversold was mid-2024. What happened in mid-2024 after that? Well, right here's mid-2024. After that, we finally got a reaction right around November where she popped up and got up off her ass and actually did something. We don't see that happening yet. Obviously, you can see the chart like I can see the chart. MACD's rolled over, no buy volume. RSI's in the gutter, looking rough. Now, you are approaching support, and you are approaching one of those fib tape profit zones down here in that support box. So, if you're a gambler and you love taking risks, well, somewhere down there may be a place where you want to take a risk. But for now, gosh, man, this thing looks terrible. And for you to take a big risk on it, yeah, you go right ahead. I see nothing but sideways and down here for now. If it improves, I'm happy to say it improved, but gosh, fellas, just keep it real. Just keep it real. It looks bad. I'm going to get flamed when I put that online for doing that. I'm going to get roasted, but it's worth noting how bad it looks is what it is. All right. So fear greed index, pull that up real quick. All right. Click on the Binance one. Oh, that's bright. My eyes. All right. So there you go. Crypto fear greed index. Right now, about 25, slightly below that at 24. Yesterday, we were into extreme fear at 20, right? Today, you're going to be right back down there in extreme fear again when we close in about 3.5 hours. This big of a fall with this much fear already, you're going to bounce around 20. You may even tip into the teens. Again, I'll tell you this, up to you on what you want to do. I know what I'm going to do. You decide your own system here. But when people are fearful, you should start being greedy. And when people are greedy, you should start being fearful. All right. And you can see the fear in the markets right now. Are there still some that are way up? Yes. Bitcoin's still way up there. XRP's still way up there. Dash, ZC, ICP, and a couple others are still way up in price. But most aren't, right? And this is why you're seeing fear grip the market, right? All those altcoins have continued to fail and fail and fail. You're even seeing Bitcoin roll back and give back some of its gains. As long as this happens, you're going to continue to see this meter fall. How about the stock market? Fear greed index. Well, let's have a look, right? Here's the stock market fear greed index. 24, just like crypto. How can that be? Have you not seen some of the charts? Well, let's go pull them up. S&P 500. Holy smokes. Absolutely flying. NASDAQ. Out of this world high. Look at that. She's so far up. Absolutely killing it. Previous all-time high broken. Dow Jones, screaming high. Apple, way up there. Meta, not as high up there, but still way up there. Amazon, kicking ass and taking names. Tesla, way up there, approaching inauguration shorts, knocking on the door of wiping out those shorts that came in right at inauguration time last year and the beginning of the year. Microsoft, she slowed down some, but she's still way up there. So I ask you, Why? Well, it turns out that about 10 or 15 assets are holding up the entire stock market. Mostly tech assets, mostly funds that employ a lot of people and have a lot of tech assets on their stat sheets, some crypto companies, and a few others. But for the most part, everything's sideways and down. Hard to believe, right? Well, is what it is. It's just the truth. Here's a couple examples. eBay's still flying, by the way. But how about Netflix? There we go. Steel printing high. Doing really well, right? How about Disney? Uh-oh. Disney not doing so well, is it? That's a big company that employs a lot of people, isn't it? Yeah. Turns out a lot of them look like this. And while we're at it, how about we go look at U.S. oil, WTI crude. Interestingly enough, WTI crude, which is crude oil, all the way down to $59 a barrel today. $59 a barrel, and hit a low in October of $56 a barrel. Why is this important? Well, they know by now that the price of oil per barrel is best at 61 to 71-ish dollars a barrel. Why? Because that's just enough money for the companies to make good profits and keep on digging for more oil, and just cheap enough for you to keep buying it. Too cheap? Well, they don't make enough money. Too much money? You don't buy it and they don't make enough profits. That's just the way this works. WTI crude continues to fall, continues to be on the downhill slide of things. Very interesting to watch. Keep your eyes on it. It's worth noting that this much fear in the market, this much stress, how much longer can this stuff hold up? And I know I got some Wi-Fi issues going on right now. It's nothing to do with me. It's everybody in the neighborhood having some problems. All right. So just hang with it. It may change. It may not. I can't do anything about it. I can see the frames dropping over here. It did this right before the stream started too. I just got to kind of roll with it. Keep an eye on stocks. I want you to watch those too. I don't want you to think you just have to sit around and think that, oh, it's all crypto all the time. No, it's not the case. It's just what I like to watch, and what I made a community watching. It doesn't mean I don't buy stocks, bonds, and equities. I do. I have a sizable position in Tesla, and I'm going to continue to DCA that thing as long as it continues to do well. And now the internet's coming back up again. I can see it. We're back up to 6,700 gigabytes per second, but it's going up and down, kind of doing this number, right? So XTZ was mentioned in the chat, Tezos. So today, Tezos popping off and doing pretty well. I'll pull this down through here, and you can see that it looks like she's trying to break trend now. Now, as far as your 821 EMA goes, this will be your first candle over the 821 EMA. Let's see if it can get 2 candles over it. That would be excellent if it does. I'm here for it. Don't know if it can hold up or not. It's got a lot of resistance in the way, but we have seen some others blow through that. Keep your eyes open and watch XTZ. Tezos. We bought and sold this a lot last bull run, but it's had such a shitty run. Look at this thing. Look what it's done. Had a little move up. Had a little move up in 2024 at the end of the year, but lost all those gains and then some. And just flat gave them all back away, right? Just been given up left and right. Be careful. Again, we've seen these pop off and take off and run. So eyes open and watch closely. We can't control the market. We just kind of roll along with it. All right. I can't say too much other than be careful. Digibyte is interesting because another one that we bought and sold a ton last time was Digibyte. You can even see my buy lines down here from 2023 when I bought it and wrote it up and did fair, but not amazing. Today, she's kicked off and doing pretty darn well. I'll flip it back over to my crypto charts here. So over the 821 EMA would have been on Monday. And since Monday, you have gotten 44% run up. Very, very nice. But I'm going to warn you, weekly is running into some resistance. You can see the moving averages there all bunched up on the weekly. That's going to cause a little bit of a hard time. right? Problem also, your weekly pivots, you're in the way there. She's really playing catch up because it done so bad. And as you can see there, it done so bad since the beginning of 2025. It just gave up everything. And for the record, since the beginning of the year, let's see where it's at. 29th, 30th, 31st, and 1st. First is right there. So this is up 0.1% for the year. See what I mean? Like it looks good at the moment, but it's had a really, really hard time. It's had a really, really hard time. You may see some other altcoins pop up and do better, and I'm hopeful that they do, but don't get ahead of yourself and think it's going to happen. It very well might not. It very well might not. Let's go check out XRP real quick. We'll do a couple more and we'll jump off here. Things are so bad that we don't need to sit here and dig into a bunch of red charts. I do an XRP update every week. Google Analytics tell me that most of you people watch for XRP content. I guess you don't like me, but you will watch to get the reality check, which is kind of cool. So the weekly still under everything, 8, 21, and 50 moving average. Be very, very careful. Daily wise, you're right at the edge of a bearish engulfing, and it looks like it's going to come through right there. Looks like you're going to get a bearish engulfing that pushes down this price even farther. All right, so you were almost oversold yesterday. If you get a bearish engulfing and you don't follow that up with another bullish engulfing, meaning another green candle covering up that red one, you're liable to dip down into the oversold territory, and that fear greed index takes it down even farther. You want to see another green candle come up on the back side of this just as fast as that one came up. You're probably not going to get it, but that's what you want. All right, if it doesn't happen, sorry. Roll with the best you can. Price action continues to look terrible. Nothing you can do about it. Maintaining $2 is still important. As long as it can maintain $2, you're still not in the horriblest place in the world. And if it drops below $2, I got it coming all the way down to 170-ish, which is really, really bad. So 170-ish, I could understand some buyers showing up there, but it may not recover from that point. So keep your eyes open on it. It still looks pretty rough, and for now, it's a no for me. All right. We'll go a couple seconds more here. Filecoin was mentioned in Discord today. In which if Filecoin gets mentioned, that means we need to talk about Mana, and that'll probably be the last two. All right, so Filecoin, boy, this thing's been so long since I looked at Filecoin that my fibs don't even line up any longer. Let's start on the weekly and work our way down. I talk about this too, right? You start on the weekly and work your way down. My goodness, look how bad this has been. Oh my goodness. It's down since the beginning of 2024. She's down 85%. Gosh, she never got over the hump and just fell farther and farther and farther into oblivion. Worse and worse and worse and worse. And the good news is the last couple days, she's trying, specifically today. Look at that pop up straight to the 50-day moving average. Not bad. Now, we have seen rejection from here back to the 821 EMA. It's likely to test that 821 EMA before you get too much more up. Doesn't mean it won't go straight up. Could. You've seen some other ones do that. We don't have two closes over that 821 EMA yet, and we usually do get back tests. So while it's pressed into that 50 moving average, bit sketchy, and I do expect some retrace there. 30% in one day, pretty darn impressive. Mana. Why I say that is because these two look very similar most of the time. And there you go, right? There's the weekly comparing it to Filecoin. Looks dang near identical. Dang near identical. Just as bad, at least anyway. So, yes, you are kind of holding the bear market lows here all the way back to 2020, but earlier in 2025 in April. She did kind of come off the bottom a little bit, but be careful here. You still don't have what you need. She's still under the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA. Not a lot of buy pressure there. Be careful. It very much can roll over and get worse from here. I don't want anyone to get burned. Just tiptoe around. She's still not too over the 8 EMA, so I don't have any confirmation about where I'd want to buy. So I'm not going to sit on here and tell you, oh my God, it's a great buy right now, because it's not. It's not. Things look pretty rough still on the home front. So before you go too far down the rabbit hole, please, everybody, stop and take a breather and think about what you're doing. How much more risk do you want to take? How far do you want to push this? Is it worth buying it if you're only going to make 2 or 3%? If it's not, why are you doing it? Be careful, all right? Walk softly. This market is so sketchy, dude. It's so sketchy. I don't want you to get stuck. I don't want you to get caught up and lose a lot of money. I want you to be careful. Take your time. Find your spots and follow the rules. No emotions. Have a plan. Have a backup plan. And please take your profits, all right? Just going to do 30 minutes today. No point in sitting around watching a bunch of dead charts. I know this stream was choppy. It's the internet. I'm looking at it over here right now, go up and down in waves. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm going to reset everything all over again tonight. Part of the gig, you know what I mean? Can't do anything except hang with it. So I'll be back again Tuesday. We'll have a Zoom tonight for the guys over in Discord if you want to come over and hang out. WAP.com/team786. First month free. It's a couple dollars a month after that. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. That's fine as well. Thank you all for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows, even though they continue to get worse. Let's try to make them better. And last but not least, no one else told you today. Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. Thank you, fellas. See y'all guys on the next stream. Y'all be good. I'm out. Sky's the limit. Peace.